Community capacity building is an amazing process that enables people to gain the skills to create change.
Capacity, to me, is identifying the assets that already exist within your community and exploring ways to build upon those, to be able to create more sustainable efforts, to be able to develop more collaborative approaches.
The purpose of the community capacity building strategy is to enhance the skills, leadership, commitment, and ability of communities to be healthier.
The BC Healthy Living Alliance exists to improve the health of British Columbians through leadership and collaboration to address the risk factors and health inequities that contribute significantly to chronic disease. The Community Capacity Building Strategy was led by the Canadian Cancer Society, BC and Yukon Division, as one of 4 health promotion strategies implemented on behalf of the BC HLA from 2008 to 2010.
How can we encourage people to eat healthier, be more physically active, and live tobacco-free? The evidence clearly shows that capacity building is a necessary condition for the successful implementation of disease prevention programs. So the BC Healthy Living Alliance identified it as a critical element of its population-based approach to health promotion. Because we know that building upon current capacity, rather than using a top-down approach, is more effective, we adopted a collaborative, asset-based approach.
We have seen a broad range of capacities built in over 70 communities in every region across the province. But at a provincial level, we have seen 4 predominant areas of development. The first one is around network development and collaboration. The second is around individual leadership capacity. The third is in the area of collective identity and culture. And the fourth one was access to resources.
Relationship building and network development have been essential pieces to capacity building within the communities because there has been a silo effect that has taken place within communities and a really competitive type of environment created out of funding arrangements.
We thought about that and we approached it differently. We said to the community, there is money for you, but how to get it is that all of you need to come together and decide that the vision that you have for this money is the one that you truly want.
We did not come in with a predetermined plan of the types of projects that we felt communities should undertake in order to build their capacity to live healthier lives. But rather, we really took the time to allow communities to decide that for themselves.
So rather than compete over funds, they could share resources, share skill sets, share opportunities with one another, and therefore their efforts would be multiplied throughout the community.
With other funding initiatives in the past, it's like when the contract is done, that's the end of the involvement. But in this particular initiative, that hasn't happened. There's been a solidarity that I believe is really important for our betterment of providing services to communities.
Leaders that we've been involved with don't often see themselves as leaders. And we want them to recognize that their roles can be everything to facilitate change, to engage people, to help people come together, and to help enact or bring an idea to fruition.
The idea was that we could engage 50 to 60 youth, refugee youth, and through sport and recreation, kind of build capacity in them so that they could, learn some of the systems and access their community, kind of help them to make, some good positive choices.
Actually, I am a player. I'm a keyboard player. And also I help the kids how to, I teach them sometimes. I teach them how to play the keyboard. It's so good. Yes.
Just observing these young people become more involved, to take pride and ownership over their identity and over their voices, over who they are, has been inspirational in that sense. And I've seen young people who have had very challenging lifestyles involved with drugs and alcohol or other harmful types of lifestyle traits who have left those personalities behind and have assumed a new one as a result of these opportunities.
And that has been the leadership development that can happen with anyone, youth, elders, people that work in organizations. These will be people who live in their community and are passionate about seeing these positive changes. And if they feel confident to make those changes, they can also excite other people to join and continue on with them.
Community gardens have really been more about building community, about building a sense of belonging and ownership over a community than about the food that they produce. And we've seen that across many of the projects that have been undertaken.
When you have the grassroots members that are investing in their community, there's a sense of community pride. There's a sense of ownership. That's the important key, is it's happening in the community, by the community.
We all have something to contribute, and we all create the composition of our communities as a result. And so that identity, once it's explored further, it makes life a lot easier, it makes conversations flow a lot easier, it makes the efforts within our communities become that much more simpler to take on.
The Harvest Feast last year was actually awesome because we had probably about close to 300 people there. Yes, I was honored at the feast with a blanket from the elders. I actually felt great because I knew myself that I put all the time and effort into the garden and making it worthwhile for the community.
We know that by investing in the skills and abilities and assets and resources of communities and strengthening those things, that in the long term, communities as a whole are going to have better access to the resources that they need to make healthier choices, and they're going to be more able to take control over whatever it is that they need in those communities to build a healthier future for the community as a whole.
We really listened to what the community wanted. We worked at their pace. And we also provided wherever we could what they needed. And oftentimes, it wasn't necessarily money. It was more, who can I get this information from? And introduce them to very unlikely and untraditional partners they may never have met before.
And then another thing that really contributed, I think, to our success was the blend of resources that we had available. We had, everything ranging from human resources and financial resources through to learning opportunities. And I think it was the unique combination of all of those things that really helped contribute to our success.
Everyone has been supportive. Whatever our questions have been, there was always someone there that would answer them for us and help us with those things. So it's been amazing. Now that the initiative is winding down, they're still supporting.
Looking back on the journey we've taken over the past 2.5 years and the countless stories of transformation we've heard, our expectations of what could be accomplished in such a short period of time have certainly been surpassed. The amazing impact that people are having on the health of their communities demonstrates what's possible when you invest in the capacity of organizations, in community champions, and their communities.
And when I traveled to these different communities around BC, it really became evident to me that what we are doing is right. I see more celebration. I see more people going out and enjoying their community, sharing their skills, sharing their strengths, sharing the assets, and not being afraid to do that.
It was so amazing to feel part of a movement towards positive change in the province of BC. It's so refreshing to feel like there are so many passionate people out there doing so much good work, and that none of us are alone in our desire to create a better world.
I will remember that no matter what project I will do in the future, capacity building will be up front because I know that there can be these long-term results, but attention has to be paid to it. So capacity building was foundational and is critical, and I can wholeheartedly tell you that it is important. Pay attention to it. It will yield results.
The Community Capacity Building Strategy provided over $1 million in financial support to 70 community-led capacity building projects across the province, supported the development of regional and provincial networks aimed at building healthy communities, and partnered to provide over 70 training events attended by over 1,600 participants to enhance the skills and abilities of community champions.